All right. Hello, YouTube. We are live on Twitch right now. We're going over the Until Dawn trailer. We're going to go through and dissect it. I've seen this, and so far I am both impressed and unimpressed. I'm impressed by their lack of it being Until Dawn. So that's cool. You guys have fun watching that. All right. So first thing, it does the classic horror movie. Here we go. And I don't even watch that many horror movies, but even I know this is a trope, starting with like the car on the road. Anyway, so how do we start in the actual Until Dawn game? Does anyone remember? I believe we start as, actually, I know we start as Beth. And we're walking in the house, and there's a party, and there's a whole dramatic situation with teenagers. And then one of them, they're bullying each other, and one of them runs away, and the sister runs after her, and then we all know what happens, right? And then they come back a year later. The girls are still missing. And they're like, all right, we're going to celebrate their memory, I guess. They come back to the mountaintop cabin, and there's like ski slopes. The problem is it's not even the same story. And I'll show you where they connect it. But like we start with an entirely different premise, right? They're coming back to this house in a ski slope mountaintop vibe, which is not what this is, to commemorate their friends being missing. And there's a lot more people in that game. There's 8 of them. This is 5. Okay. And so I remember when I was looking at the casting, I was like, this is probably Hannah Beth. She'll play both of them. They're twins, right? This is, why am I forgetting his name after all this time? The lead dude, Mike, Matt, Sam, Jessica, Sam was like my guess. Something like that. I'll have to look back. None of that's true because these aren't even the same characters. Look at this. Look at this. So he's still a doctor, even though he was working in a store. So that's confusing. I don't know what that means. Clover, Melanie, Megan, Max, Nina, Abel, and somebody unnamed. Oh yeah, and I thought this one was going to be Chris. So like, what? It's not even the same people. It's not even the same people. I think someone wanted to make a horror movie and just wanted the name because it suited their idea. That's what it feels like, honestly. It's the loosest possible same description. A group spends the weekend in a ski lodge on the anniversary of their friend's disappearance, unaware that they are not alone. That's like, what, like 60% of horror movies? Like they zoomed all the way out to get that description. So going through each little bit again, all right? We have the trope. They show up here, okay? We're starting here. Turn it down a little bit.
Sister. Does she look familiar to you?
So she's looking for her sister, which is similar to the beginning of the game, but like that happens all at once, not like when they come back to a house or come to a house that they've never been before, actually. Which, on the anniversary of their friend's disappearance. So they don't come back to the ski lodge. They've never been to the ski lodge.
She's gone missing.
And that's
I didn't say that.
Peter Stormare, the doctor in the game.
A lot of people go missing.
Don't know why he's in a store, but he's still a doctor, so.
Up the road.
That is not a ski lodge.
Right here.
Listen, I'm not like the biggest ski lodge like I haven't been to that many ski lodges, but like, is that a ski lodge? Excuse me? I can understand a smaller cast for a movie. In theory, it allows more character development, but we usually don't see a lot of that in horror. Yeah, I mean, like usually they just start killing people off anyway, you know, and I guess they don't need that many because they're going to kill them all each time, like over and over again. We're going to see them all die like 12 times, but that's a bed and breakfast. I can't pretend. There's nothing correct here. I'm looking for even like one correct, like one thing.
Up the road.
One commonality.
That's why people get into trouble.
Up the road, that's where people get into trouble. Okay, so people generally come to this house and get in trouble, which is, again, a totally different premise than one of them owning the mountain. You know what I mean?
People here in years.
Looks like it, too.
Weird. That's my sister's signature.
Okay, so this was the first thing I noticed before, where I was like, what in the... I was like, who is Melanie Paul? That's not my sister. You know what I mean? That's not Hannah. Until Dawn, the game with the Wendigo lore. Exactly. There is a Wendigo in here, though. There is. There's like 3 things that are somewhat related to Until Dawn, about as much as your real life is related to Until Dawn, if we're being fair. The trailer makes Cabin in the Woods looks like an Oscar-worthy movie. Some of it has that like Cloverfield camera work. I don't know what that's about. I wish Start Fox was here. He could weigh in on some of the movie magic. You were up until dawn last night. It's closer to you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mr. Signature. Oh, shit.
Guys, check it out.
And now they're missing, or these people are missing, and then they're going to be missing. Okay, so watch the missing. Is that a bingo?
Into these people.
Well, that's about.
Where's my car?
Okay, so the car goes missing, which is strange.
Where's Megan?
Megan disappears. Wait, who the f*** is Megan? You know what I mean? Dead. And so then any normal person would be like, oh my god, there's only 4 of them left. What the f*** are they gonna do now? It's gonna be boring, maybe. Oh, now there's 3. Oh, now there's 2. That was the main character. Oh no, dead. Well, now what? Oh, it restarts. The hell? So I think this is a smart way to handle the fact that in the game, a lot of people will play it more than once, or even if you don't, there's multiple endings that you can get and you can save or kill characters. So I think this was a clever way of handling that, because I was wondering how they were going to handle it in a movie. So I'll give them props for this thought process of how they're doing it, of they have like 12 nights. I think it works in movie format to try to translate it from the game. This premise gives me a little bit of hope, but it gave me more hope before I saw the trailer, if we're being honest. So.
What the fuck just happened? We all got fucking murdered. And now we're here again.
So the night is just gonna repeat itself.
And they're aware, that's important. They're very aware that they've been murdered. And so it's kind of roguelite, I guess. It's a roguelite, which is like not Until Dawn. This is just a roguelite. What am I talking about? This isn't like it at all. I want this game. Returnal, the video game. I want this game. I want this to exist. But it's not Until Dawn.
Remember that happening last time?
Wait, are there any roguelite horror games? There have to be, right? Horror people? Are there horror gamers in the chat? I feel like that would be cool. So that part's really dark. I can't really see much of anything during that, to be honest.
Remember that happening last time?
I don't remember that happening last time. So this is like the second night. So they're like, oh shit, this isn't the same thing. Like, why? Because if it were me, I would be like, okay, how do I live through this night? I'm going to remember everything. I'm going to start noting. And then be like, oh, this isn't the same, right? It's that mentality of like, okay, well, now the game's changing every single time, which is a neat premise as well. So they give it an even higher twist, which I think is cool, right? The problem with an Until Dawn 2 is it's nearly impossible, right? I think they set themselves up for a sequel, apparently, in this last one, but it's very hard to do. They'd have to choose some characters that can't canonically live. Yeah, so there's not much you can see there except that it looks like maybe like a medical person in a wheelchair or something, because she had or maybe it's just a nanny in a wheelchair and she gets you with her oxygen mask. Okay. Now they're missing. So the game has changed.
Shit.
Every night holds a clue.
Somebody was trying to kill us.
What is that?
So it's like almost a horror mystery, which is cool. I like the puzzle aspect. This would be a really cool game, man. That clock has literally nothing to do with the Until Dawn game for anybody watching this that hasn't seen the game. It's a cool concept, but it has nothing to do with it.
Nobody's made it past 13 nights.
There's literally no references to the actual game other than Peter Stormare at this point in the trailer. Nothing. Except, was the mask already in this part? Did we see the mask yet? There was a mask reference. Was it the first guy? It's so dark. Yeah, okay. It's that guy. Do you see him? One more time.
Where's Megan?
I think it's that guy. So Peter Stormare is the psychology guy. The guy that was in the store is the doctor that you're familiar with. That's this guy. He's the same actor. He's the only one that they brought back. Since in the game, they literally have real actors. Fully mocapped and stuff. So, yeah, right? So he's here, and his title is still Doctor. So I don't know what part he's going to play, but he's in it. And if he's a doctor, presumably he comes in. They just didn't put him anywhere else in the trailer. So they're keeping that a mystery. So he's the first thing that's related. Her sister being missing is the second thing that's related. A group of friends going into a house, third thing that's related, except they were in a house on a whole mountain, and now they're like, it looks like they barely go, like, maybe in the backyard of the house. Everything else is pretty different. The, like, time loop is different. The dying and coming back is different. The different murderers is different because in the game they have a distinct person who's doing stuff and distinct monsters that are doing stuff.
What is that?
Still nothing else similar. Every death brings you closer.
How many more deaths do you have in you?
Nobody's made it past 13 nights.
So, of course, if this keeps going, they're going to see if there's a limit. Logic.
If we want to survive, we have to make it until dawn.
And so they are, like, playing a game almost, which is cool, right? There is a gamified aspect to this. So they realize they have to maybe all live. I think they all have to live is what that means. That's what it sounds like. Or some of them have probably lived through it, right? At this point.
If we want to survive, we have to make it until dawn.
Unless nobody's made it. Maybe just one of them has to make it until dawn and then they escape and then the others are stuck. I don't know. I don't think they confirmed either or here, really. The wording is kind of vague. If there was a Hayden Panettiere cameo, I will forgive the rest of it, to be honest. I will. I would smash that hourglass. It unlocks hardcore mode. Yo, it's worth a try, Nebraska. I feel like we would do really good in this house chat. For some reason, it gives me Saw vibes. Like, you need to figure out the game. Yeah, it does. It does have the gamified aspects. That's similar. Okay, that's where it starts to look like a Cloverfield shaky camera. You see that?
Make it until dawn.
What is that?
Like, what is that? Okay. That right there was the only sighting of a Wendigo in the whole thing. And for those who don't know, the Wendigos they are more in the latter half of the game, but they are like the main premise of the game. And you see signs of them throughout. Not her face. I was trying to get the Wendigo. Oh, hi, BBO. See that? That's the only sighting of the Wendigo. That's the only time. So I don't know if it's just one night killer or if the clues lead to the Wendigo. I hope so, because if it's only one night's killer, that seems very not Until Dawn.
He's getting
I'm just gonna grab it. Don't move.
Yeah. Oh, what? Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
And this is a different horror movie premise. It's like not even a killer person or anything. It's a killer or a monster. It's like a bug. So very different. I am not as impressed as I'd like to be, but I'm also it's like a day one watch for me for sure. Did you guys catch O? She was over there. It's a day one watch for me, but it's also something where I'm not sure what they were thinking. You love Until Dawn and wish they stuck to the source. Yep. Sarah, no! No, you guys know how motivated I am. I'm keeping everybody alive. I'm so upset that we don't get to see Until Dawn live action. And I know Until Dawn is almost already live action because it's modeled after real people so closely. But it would be cool to just watch Until Dawn unfold and see it without our decision making and see how that pans out and see that, like, the thing about adaptations is they change it to a different medium, but it can still be the same story in a new medium and be very exciting. And that's how I see it. Like, same story, new way of telling it. This is not the same story. It just isn't. It's maybe the same universe. There's maybe some similarities, loosely, but they're not even the same characters. It's not the same story. So I don't really know what they were thinking here. I don't know if it's just a shot in the dark to try to get some of the hype from game adaptations right now. But out of all the things I was expecting, it was really not pretty much a completely different game that I'd really like to play. I'm kind of sad because I was really looking forward to the hype of the Until Dawn game reaching the mainstream, and I just don't think this is going to be it. I don't think it's going to do that well. I hope it does. I just don't foresee this taking off, to be honest. We need the Wendigos as accurate as possible. We do. So, I mean, hopefully it brings people to Until Dawn, and if that's their main goal, it might do that. Especially people like, oh my god, Until Dawn's like a completely different experience. Yeah, I want to go play that, and then they get a similar vibe. That could be cool. I think it's going to be harder for those of us coming from the game, but maybe those who see that and come to the game might have a good time. But then they might want the movie, which would be fair because the movie has a cool premise itself. So I don't know. Yeah, it just seems weird. They should have brought back the original cast, just aged the whole story up a little bit, and remade it with like a couple small changes. That'd be cool, right? That'd be cool. That's what I wish, but that's not what we got. So we're going to accept what we got, give what we got a fair shake, but it just looks like another story completely. We'll be talking about more of this over the next few months. I don't know when it's supposed. Did they give us a date? I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but we'll keep an eye on it. This is one of my favorite games ever. By the way, I'm MADkurious. I stream Until Dawn and a million other games, and we analyze them. So we wanted to take a first look at this trailer together. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Everybody say bye! Everybody say bye, YouTube!